Nowadays, we work more and more. Not only that, the demands and results are getting bigger and bigger while the deadlines are getting smaller and smaller. You might even feel guilty stepping away from work because you have so much to do, but it's definitely something you have to start practicing. And that's why in last week's video, we looked at 5 signs that you're working too hard and need to take a break. And on this video, we're gonna look at how to take a break from work and at work, coming up. If you're new here, my name is Dedeyan. Welcome to my channel, the number one place for peak performance, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. So the first thing we need to look at is structure your workload in sprints. Now this is really interesting because many studies have shown if you're doing one particular task for a long stretch of time, you are going to be less effective at that work. So a great way to go about it is the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of work for 5 minutes off. So it gives you a little stretch and it gives you a little break over there. I personally like working anywhere between 45 minutes to 60 minutes and taking 10 to 15 minutes break. That's a sprint that works for me. So you have to check what works for you. Now, this is a concept that is actually explained to what happens neurologically within your brain. Now, there's something called the vigilance decrement. Now, the vigilance decrement is essentially when you're doing one particular task for so long that your brain kind of gets bored and doesn't send the proper resources for that particular task because you've been doing it for so long. Now, a way to explain this is when you walk into a room and there's a particular smell. In the beginning, when you walk in, you smell it and it's very predominant. But after a few minutes, the smell kind of goes away. The smell doesn't really go away. It's still there. It's just that your brain doesn't send the resources anymore to smell it at such a high level. The same happens with noise, right? If you're walking into a room that has a particular noise, after a while, the noise is almost going to be background noise. That's the vigilance decrement. So what is this correlated within work? Is that you're doing one particular work for so long without taking a break, your brain is going to get bored. Now, once we know this, we know that, okay, we should do our work in sprints. Now let's look at the break aspect of it. It's really important to structure your break in a certain way. So if you're taking a break, the best way to go about it is get up from your physical desk and go out of that environment. So you could go out for a walk, you could go get a coffee, you could go X, Y, and Z. Even as simple as, hey, you know what? I'm in front of my computer, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna watch YouTube videos. That's perfectly okay. I would actually invite you to do it on your phone in a different area. As you're doing that, you're anchoring that area within that's a break area and you're anchoring your work area of this is work area. So then your body subconsciously knows when I'm sitting here, I am working and I'm going there, I'm doing particular break or X, Y, and Z. So that's the best way to structure your sprints load when it comes to your work. If you see there's some value within this video so far, don't hesitate at all to give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification to find out when our weekly videos come out. So the second thing we need to look at is 55 hours of work per week. Now, there was a recent study done by Stanford University that shows that in average, 55 hours of work per week is the ideal time. Any additional hour that you're gonna add within that is not gonna be efficient, it's not gonna be productive, and it's not gonna be high quality. So if you're working 60, 70, 8 hours of work and you think you're killing it, in fact, it's a complete opposite in this scenario. So you wanna be able to structure your time accordingly to work approximately 55 hours a week. Now the question is, how do we do that? The best way that I have learned, seen, and coach my clients towards it is to start a structured agenda towards where you start your work and when you finish it. And it's mostly the deadline that's extremely important. So if you say at 5 p.m. today, I am done work, hell or high water. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I need to do this, do that. 5 p.m., it's like an imaginary ghost comes and takes away your desk and your laptop and you don't have that work. Now, another way to structure these things, these activities, is to do certain activities that are demand your time. So imagine, like we say, sports, you're in a basketball team and every Wednesday you guys play X amount of time and Thursdays is the game or Fridays is the game, whatever it is. That's something that's actually there within your agenda and you have to show up towards it. So as much as possible, make it things that you have to absolutely show up towards. Now, as you're doing that, you're gonna have a better balanced life, and in those 55 hours a week, you're gonna be so much more efficient, as the study mentions. The third thing we're gonna look at is book your vacations in advance. Now, this is the reason why I wore my funky vacation shirt today, is because it's so important not to only book your vacation when you feel tired, but to book it in advance. Now, one activity that I do is in the beginning of the year, I look at my calendar and I decide how many weeks do I want to go on vacation this year. And then once I decide, is it 6, 7, 10, whatever it is, then I start putting them within the agenda, within the schedule. Like, oh my God, okay, maybe in the month of, let's say April, I want to go down south. Maybe in the summer, I want to go to Europe. Oh, maybe maybe next month I want to go see my family. Whatever the case is, as you structure it in advance, you know approximately what weeks you're going to go where. You have checkpoints throughout your year. So that only helps you out throughout the process of doing your work. Because if you're doing work and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel because you haven't structured an actual break and disconnect completely from your work, it's hard to continue moving forward. But if you know that, oh my God, in 3 weeks I'm going on vacation, you'll be able to push forward for those 3 weeks. There's like this goal, there's something tangible that you could go reach. As entrepreneurs, as people within the career, what I have realized, the second you detach yourself from your work and completely change your environment in a different country most of the times, it actually activates your subconscious mind at such a higher level, because your subconscious mind works best when your conscious mind is not working. So if you're in your universe of working at work, you're only thinking about that work. But sometimes just taking a step back, in vacation, you start finding solutions. That's why so many times you get great ideas in the shower, because you're not thinking about anything while you're showering. So your subconscious mind has place to evolve and find solutions. So within vacation, even though you're taking a step back, there's so many great things that happen within your work, within solutions, and within clients just coming towards you as well. So structure your vacation in advance, set them up within your agenda, and then enjoy the rest of the year with these new vacations coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video and you figured out some ways to take some break from work. Because the reality is, if you're not taking any break from work, you're honestly just going towards a wall. You're going to be tired, you're not going to be efficient. So it is extremely important to take a step back and take some breaks. That's why the question today is, what are some of the techniques that you use to take a break that helps you out immensely? Comment that down below. I'd love to see what the community is going to say on that end. Furthermore, there's some more videos over here that could interest you. You have my Peak Performance Mindset series. Over here, you have my entrepreneurship series, and you have my book review series. And over here, you have my profile picture. You guys can click, subscribe, and join the family. I hope you have a blessed and grateful day.